Hi, I'm Paul, your host for today's Warm Natters podcast. Welcome to episode 1. Today I'm joined by Andrea Howe and Richard Honey, energy officers at Cosy Homes in Lancashire, based in sunny Blackpool. So welcome to you both. Thanks for coming.
Hello.
Thank you.
Andrea, if I can come to you first of all, Cosy Homes in Lancashire, can you tell me a bit about it and who is the scheme aimed at?
Yes, so Cosy Homes in Lancashire was started back in 2013-14, and that was on the back of a Lancashire-wide survey and study that Public Health commissioned, looking at the impacts of living in a cold home on the health of residents. So there was various recommendations that came out of that report, but one of them was for the Lancashire local authorities to create their own scheme and try and bring in as much funding as they could for their residents. We give it a name, which was Cosy Homes in Lancashire, and that is our scheme, that's our initiative that all the local authorities have signed up to, and it's there to help residents across Lancashire have access to funding and help and advice to keep their homes warmer.
So as you've been leading the scheme for a number of years now, can you tell me what led to the scheme initially being created?
Yes, so as I said, it started back in 2013, and at that time there was a change in government, and a lot of the funding that had previously been available to local authorities was taken away from local authorities, and it was passed to energy companies. Energy companies provided the funding, they engaged with installers, and it was installers who went looking for eligible residents to give them funding to improve the heating and insulation in their homes. And what we found at that time was a lot of these companies were going after a lot of the low-hanging fruit, so looking for some of the easy wins with maximum profits. And we did see that a lot of vulnerable residents, a lot of residents who had certain health conditions or issues, or weren't really engaged with weren't really engaged with the installers, or who had difficult houses to treat, they were being left out. So it was only the people with nice easy measures to replace or improve or install, they were getting the help. So a lot of the people that we'd previously helped with our own funding were being missed, and we thought that was just really unfair.
How did you ensure that these people were not missed out this time?
Yes, so we set up Cosy Homes in Lancashire. We partnered with an energy company to get our own funding, and we, as a group of local authorities, we thought we were best placed because we were already engaged with the third sector, the voluntary agencies. We had frontline staff going out and about across their districts, and we're already engaging with these vulnerable residents who really needed that extra help. So we had people working on the front line who could refer into our scheme, so that way we made sure that we were helping the most vulnerable and those most in need of these measures.
Good. Richard, if I could bring you in now. Since the inception of Cosy Homes in Lancashire back in 2013, as Andrew just said, what would you say is the single biggest achievement? What are you most proud of?
I suppose just the whole, it's so broad, the achievement. If you think about the amount of people that we've helped, the amount of people that we want to help, the scheme itself, just to put it into perspective, to give you some numbers about the amount of people that we've helped in the last 5 years, we've helped as many as 4,000 homes. We've improved 4,000 homes throughout Lancashire. That's amazing. We've secured £100 million worth of funding, which we've spent across Lancashire to help those people. And every year we get about 7,000 applications looking for advice on how to help how they can conduct themselves to improve their lifestyle and their safety within their homes. So that's a big achievement. And you know, we continue to build on what we've done. So we're never going to stop. We just want to help as many people as we can.
Yeah, what I should say, Cosy Homes has been established for so long, and as a group of local authorities, we've worked together probably for over 20 years before Cosy Homes started on an informal basis. You know, we are very good at getting funding from the government. So yes, Richard said 100 million in the last 5 years. We've picked up a lot of that funding from other local authorities up and down the country who haven't been able to spend their money. So we kind of swoop in and get extra money from wherever we can, because we want to help residents in Lancashire. We think probably there's certainly a need out there to help people. There's older housing stock, vulnerable residents. So we really try and maximise the funding opportunities for our residents.
But don't let it go to waste.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So I can assume there'll be a pretty big team behind this, lots of different departments and companies working in conjunction with each other to get these measures implemented into people's homes. Can you tell me, Richard, a bit about what goes on behind the scenes to bring it all to life?
Yeah, it's a huge effort by some wonderful people all the way across the county. We have specialists in their various fields. We have some brilliant people in each local authority. So each local authority will have an energy officer. We have a fantastic managing agent that organises everything with regards to the installers and liaising with the customers. So once a customer has got through the criteria and we feel that the measures will improve everything, those measures will go in, and those measures are installed by trusted installers, Lancashire installers, and the managing agent will monitor everything. We'll check to make sure those measures that have been installed are correct. We'll check thereafter to make sure that the customer is happy with what's happened, and we try and produce as much data and as much evidence as possible so that we can analyse what we're doing, so that we can keep improving year on year. And I feel that year on year we do, don't we, Andrea?
Absolutely. You know, and I think this is quite unique to our scheme. We only allow Lancashire-based installers to work on our scheme, and I'm not aware of any other local authorities up and down the country who do that. They cast their nets further afield, but we do that because we want to use trusted installers who are based in Lancashire, employing local people, apprentices, etc., using local products and suppliers. And what I think probably a key success is that we help those installers to get their accreditation so they can install more measures on the scheme. And again, I think that's quite unique to our scheme.
Yeah. So how long would you say on average it takes from somebody putting in an application to getting a measure successfully installed and fitted and getting the feedback? How long on average? I'm sure it's measure dependent, but how long would it take?
It can vary. When you're building things like, it might be in a conservation area, it might need planning permission. The process from filling out an application form, seeing if you're eligible for the measures, there might be more than one measure that you're trying to attain, and we want to give you as many measures as possible, because we want to make we want to make sure that that customer is benefiting from everything that's available to them. So when you build everything in, it's then got to be installed, etc. I guess it can be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months on average. Would that say is a fair summary? I mean, it can be a bit longer in worst case scenarios, but the benefit that you get at the end of it far outweighs the lengthy period that it takes for that to happen. And it may appear a long journey. We call it the customer journey, but we try and facilitate that it's as easy for them as possible. And we deliberately use the installers, and we build relationships with the installers to make sure that they take as much care of that customer as we do from the very, very beginning. So we really do put the customer at the heart of what we're trying to do, just to make that journey experience as good as it can be. It can be disruptive. It can be, it can be difficult. It depends on, that we come across all types of customers, young, old, disabilities. We really do make sure that everybody's aware what we need to do. We need to adapt certain things.
They're looked after.
That they are looked after. So we take a lot of pride and we get a lot of joy, don't we, in helping those people that maybe even more vulnerable than we thought they might have been. But yeah, it's a journey that does take a bit of time, but the benefit at the end of it is huge.
It's worthwhile.
Yeah.
So is there anything people, or that you believe people misunderstand about Cosy Homes in Lancashire? Any misconceptions that you believe people have about the scheme?
Yeah, I think there's two things really. I think people think we're some kind of private contractor, and they don't understand that Cosy Homes in Lancashire is a council scheme. So obviously all the branding and marketing we do, it's trying to get that point across that we are your local authority, we're a trusted brand, and to come to us for all your insulation, heating, energy advice. And I think the second thing a lot of people think is, oh, Cosy Homes in Lancashire, it's just for people in receipt of benefits. And that is just not the case. We've got something for everyone. We want to sell ourselves as a one-stop shop for warmth in Lancashire. So regardless of whether you've got the money to go down a retrofit journey and pay for measures yourself, you know, we've got advice for that. Yes, of course, we've got grants which people on benefits can apply for, but probably the majority of the people who come into us to have large-scale grant measures installed are working people. The household income is £36,000 or less, and that's the qualifying criteria. And a lot of working people, older people maybe on pensions that retired, they qualify for the grant. And in some instances, people qualify for some of these large grants just based on their postcode. So they could live in, it's what's classed as an IMD postcode area, and if they live in that area and their house is eligible, so it's got to have an energy performance certificate of D, E, F or G, they would qualify.
What's
so
an IMD postcode?
Indices of multiple deprivation. So it's the government recognition of different postcodes where in those areas people on lower incomes tend to live.
I see. Yeah. Okay. So would you say that if people are watching this now who believe they may not be eligible, would your advice still be to go onto the website and have a look and make an application?
5 minutes. What's the worst that can happen? A refusal, because you're either earning too much money or not in the right postcode, or your EPC, your energy performance certificate, is not low enough. You know, it's worthwhile just filling in that application form, because you never know what you're entitled to.
But at the very least, everyone is entitled to advice and support. And potentially the Little Van of Warm service, which is our service to provide free of charge, low cost energy efficiency measures in people's homes.
And why do you feel that schemes like Cosy Homes in Lancashire are important?
Well, it's important, isn't it, to keep safe those vulnerable people, to help them reduce their energy bills, to keep them safer in their homes, to improve their physical health and their mental health, which we underestimate as well. And there are many people, aren't there, Andrea, that live on their own and are struggling to pay their bills, and they're sat in a cold home, and it's soul destroying. It breaks our hearts, doesn't it?
It does break our hearts.
You know, so we want to genuinely make a difference by giving them the opportunity to have free energy measures installed by the best installers that we can find in Lancashire to improve everything about their life in respect of improving their house. And, you know, it's a very, very worthwhile scheme. We're very proud of it. People should trust it because it is council backed, as Andrea said.
Exactly, and there's so many scams around these days, especially with elderly people who do live on their own, who maybe haven't got the support of friends and relatives and neighbours to help them. And we hear weekly, don't we, of residents who have been scammed out of money. People, installers, offering the same kind of services that we do, but asking people for upfront money, and that's just not acceptable. So we want to build our brand, Cosy Homes in Lancashire, and get the message out there that, you know, please come to your local council scheme if there's anything we can help with. Exactly.
It reduces the risk, eliminates the risk of falling foul to scams.
If they're getting those calls, you know, we want money up front, just call us just for reassurance that is a scam, and then we can talk to them about what we can offer them.
Exactly,
and that's real, you know, so this is happening out there. People are scamming some people. Talk to us. Again, it doesn't cost much to give us a call or email us, and we'll contact you. We want to eradicate that side of it, and we want to make sure that everybody has something that we can do to improve their life.
Exactly. So where do people go then to learn more?
Certainly they can do a Google search, just Cosy Homes in Lancashire. The website is www.chil, that's homes.uk.com, or the residents can contact the local council and be put through to us, and we do have a dedicated phone line as well.
Lovely. Richard, Andrea, thanks very much, and we shall see you guys for episode 2.